So I want to preface the video today with saying that I took a ton of footage this afternoon in the farm, and I purchased a microphone, which I'm still working the kinks out on because I want to be able to give you, more conversation, I guess, while I'm actually working in the field. But there's a bit of backfeed on the microphone, so I just want you to bear with us as we go through this video. I can't go back and reshoot any of this footage, so I'm just really hoping that you guys can just offer some grace. I've done my best to edit it as proficiently as possible, but unfortunately there's just a lot of them where I can't do anything about the audio quality, and I'm sorry, and I'm gonna start that ahead of time. It's not normal for this channel, and I don't know yet if I will be using that microphone again, but here we go. Joseph, are we going to the farm? Big yawn. Are we going? We are. Hey everyone, it's Brittany with Green Bee Flowers. If you are new to our channel, we are a year 5, 2.5 acre cut flower farm and boutique florist shop in small town Southwestern Ontario. We are growing in zone 6A, 6B, kind of on the cusp of both. And if you like flower farming content, general garden inspired things and vlogs, we might be a great channel for you. You can support us by hitting that subscribe button, liking our content, and leaving comments if you have any questions. So it has been a couple days since I brought you out to have a look at what's been going on in our small greenhouse. So this greenhouse that I am in right now is where we push a lot of our spring bulbs earlier. It is currently unheated, although we are able to run small heaters in here when it gets really cold. So behind me you can see that since last week when we were in here, so like 4 days ago I think is when I filmed the last video, our tulips have really started to fill out, which is great news because this week I have our very first wholesale flower order headed out to one of my favorite florists in the area, and I'm really excited because she has been texting me and emailing me like every other day trying to find out when flower season is starting. So between being in here and also out at the farm, I am expecting, with this lovely sunny weather that we have today, that we're going to see a lot of our tulips and our hyacinths start to pop this week, which means I am hoping that I'm going to be able to give her a good bucket, maybe 2 buckets of flowers that she's going to be able to use in her shop. Now I also have a bunch of these that we've already picked and brought into our store, and we moved several buckets of our own tulips over the Easter break. So now that we are past Easter, and conveniently this week is when our flowers are really getting into gear, I have some work to do. So I have talked on this channel before about the ideal stage in which I want to grab my tulips. And right here, if I am selling at the wholesale, when the bud at the top for singles, right? We're just talking about the singles tulips right now. The bud at the top here has just started to color up, and this is the perfect stage for me to grab these tulips for the florist. I have in fact already cleared out most of this crate, and this one beside me, even though it is labeled to be a Van Eyck tulip, they're actually coloring up white on the top, which means that this is more than likely a mislabel. And I'm gonna wait about another 6 hours before I come through and check on these tulips again, knowing full well that I will have at least one full bunch of 10 tulips for her from this crate. But I need to wait to find out if the rest of the tulips in here actually do color up to be the white tip, or if they color up to be that beautiful, like orangey color that the Van Eyck tulips actually are. But we're gonna turn around and I wanna show you the hyacinths because they are at the perfect stage for picking right now. Now this crate of hyacinths is at its bud stage. And this means that if I was to grab the hyacinths out of here, they are going to have the longest life for the florist, right? Hyacinths don't have a particularly lengthy base life, so you want to get them when the buds are just starting to color. And when we cut them and leave part of that bulb on at the bottom, that actually is going to allow the hyacinth to continue to grow, and it's going to continue feeding the flower, which is why you want to get them at this stage. So I'm going to pick a few of these right now. We're going to start with a bunch of 5 because I know for sure that that is what she likes. And then I'll come back probably later and grab another 5. And I'm hoping that by the end of this week, I will get a good 2 bunches, so 2 bunches of 10 out of this, because it looks like I've got between 20 to 30 blooms in here. We harvest these actually the same way we harvest tulips. So I'm just going to reach in and I'm going to grab the hyacinth. Now it's really short right now, but that's okay because it's going to keep growing. They smell so good. So good. So this variety here that I am harvesting is called, ironically, Light and Dreamy. So I'm gonna go and find a photo. This right here is what it should look like, but it's really a lovely purple. So I'm gonna fill this up with as many as I can grab. I'm gonna pull them first for my florist client, and then whatever I have left will actually head to the store this week. My goal is to get her a couple bunches of tulips. She will be getting a bunch of ranunculus, which I cannot harvest over at the house until they're a little bit more open, so that'll probably be tomorrow. They need another good day in the greenhouse to get themselves going. In the meantime, I'm gonna pull these because they're looking really lovely. Now I'm also headed over to the daffodils because I have pulled some from this section already. They come on really quickly when the weather is like this, so it's really important we get them at the right stage. So we're going to head over and grab some of those. I think the variety that I have that's cracking right now is called White Lion. It's a really pretty daffodil with a double narcissus with white petals that has a yellow interior. It's really, really quite lovely. perfect stage right now. I'm gonna slip over and grab another bin for the hyacinths. So when we were out here at the farm a couple days ago, the hyacinths did not look like this. In fact, I was actually expecting to harvest these for about another week. So I grabbed another bucket here, or another bin. I'm gonna go through the row and grab the ones that are coloring. There's a lot in here that are still really green. I want to keep those in probably for another day or two, then I'll pull those out. But any of the ones that are like looking like this here, beautiful blush pink, these guys are ready to go. So I'm gonna go through here, we're gonna pick some of these, then I'm gonna show you our haul. Actually a lot bigger than I thought we were gonna have. I'm on to my second crate now. I've pulled out a whole bunch of blush pinks and the Delft purple. Now it looks like I have to pull some whites and like a handful of butter yellow, and then I'm gonna mosey down to the violets and the purples. Although I don't know if I'm as happy. I may give those another day and let them color up. The blooms on those ones are really small, and I don't know how to think about that yet. But anyways, these white ones in front of me here are gorgeous. So we're gonna start with those. As I'm going through too, I noticed that, so last year when the hyacinths got planted, I was sick. So I missed this. And the year before when the hyacinths got harvested, I was also sick and I missed it. I had RSV when they harvested these way back in April of 2023. And then I had norovirus in the fall when these guys went in. So I don't actually have a lot of the hands-on work done on these except for the picking this year. So that is exciting and kind of new for me. To get these at the right time this year is really exciting. Last year, I don't know if, I'll link the video below if you want to go back and watch it, but we had a heat wave hit the farm very early in April last year. And when I say heat wave, I mean like we were 27, 28 degrees Celsius, which for Southwestern Ontario, when we're just starting to have spring weather, was really, really hard for us. And it actually was a big reason why I didn't do a lot of YouTubing last year. We struggled for most of April and May to get our seedlings in the ground, and then also to keep them hydrated, because once that weather heated up, it forced a lot of buds on flowering branches. And then we had snow and frost like 2 days later, which promptly killed a lot of spring buds. And so it was a really bizarre spring last year. And then moving into May, the weather was so hot when we were getting our seedlings in that like Nick could not get out to the farm fast enough to just keep things hydrated. And we ended up losing a lot of our first succession of flowers last year just because it was not possible. Like we just couldn't keep it watered and cool enough for these seedlings to get established, and they just burned so fast. And like no amount of acclimating our seedlings outside could have prepared us for the fact that they were just going to fry. And that happens sometimes. It sucks, but it's something that we have to start being able to plan for. So the hyacinths were one last year where, because they bloomed out so quickly, we weren't able to get a lot of them out in time, and so I just wasn't here for a lot of the harvesting. And this year it's nice because they're a little slower. I do expect that probably by the end of this week most of these will be pulled out of the ground. There may be a few stragglers, but the nice thing about the hyacinths is that I can keep them in our cooler for 3 weeks with the bulb on, and they will kind of stay frozen in time. They're a lot like tulips that way, but I do have to make sure that I leave the bulb on for these. Well, we look at hyacinths and think, or tulips, sorry. We look at tulips and think they're the only ones that kind of keep growing when you pull them out of the ground. Now, they're the only ones that keep growing without the bulb on, but the hyacinths, the way we cut them, will actually continue to grow. And hyacinths don't mind the cold, and they don't mind the dark. They'll just keep doing their thing. It just means that they won't actually bloom out, and that's really helpful. So all that to say, let's pick some more hyacinths. Or be like me, it's lop off the bulb on the first try. There we go. So that's what I want it to look like. But the stem length on these, overall is really great. Like, really that one is. Actually got a message from my wholesale supplier saying that he'll take as many hyacinths as I can give him. So I'm going to go ahead and actually process these here right now, and I'm going to get them all set up and ready to go so that he can just pick them up tomorrow. So now that I have the daffodils processed, I have them actually split up. We are taking this crate here with us back to the shop so that I can actually just get those processed and ready to go out right away. I have a crate here of stuff that is headed to one of our florist friends, and then this crate here of picked hyacinths, gonna head to the cooler so that they can spend a couple days in there, just growing, getting some length on them so that they're a little bit more usable. And then hopefully I'll be able to get a few more of these stems out Wednesday to the same florist. So we're rocking and rolling. It's our first harvest of the season. This feels really, really good. Like really good. Just to see stuff like headed out right away, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Now, do you see it? Do you see this beautiful, beautiful sight right here? That is our first anemone bud of the season. Yay! So it is the next day and I'm back out in the little square greenhouse, and I wanted to update on the Van Eyck tulips. I need to have more faith because they did, in fact, color up to what they're supposed to be. I'm gonna show you. Now yesterday these were looking, I don't know, really white in the center, and so it's nice to see that they are starting to get their peach color. That's great. That means they're what they're supposed to be. And also the stem length on these tulips is excellent. So there's a whole bunch that are so close to being at this stage. If it stays relatively okay weather-wise today, I should be able to pick a bunch, bring them to the store, but I do still have a few more of those apricot hyacinths that need to come out. We left them for about another 24 hours, and there's like maybe 7 or 8 now in that crate that are also ready to come out, and those are gonna head to the store as well. I'm gonna leave the video here because one, I was insanely frustrated with the just sound quality on everything that I took yesterday, and I'm really disappointed because one of my goals this year is to give you guys better content, essentially, because I think that it's fun to watch people play with flowers. Like, it really is, you know, but at the same time it can be really difficult for me to blabber on to the camera if I'm not wearing a microphone, and it turns out that maybe isn't the correct mic that I should be using. So I'm gonna go back and do some research on those, and if you guys have any suggestions on tech things, right, I have a degree in like English and history, so like I do this all on my own, but I'd love a little bit of like suggestions down there if you've, you know, got better experiences with things. I do a lot of my filming on my iPhone. I also have a camera that I use in the summer as well. So just, yeah, if you've got suggestions, drop them down there. It's getting windy out. We're due for some rain today. Caitlin is out at the farm planting our Costa varieties of snapdragons. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be going in the next 2 weeks, and I look forward to showing you all of those videos. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.